Let's get straight to the point. Number 7. The scammed wannabe. You've probably seen those Hollywood movies where some hooded guy opens his laptop, enters the dark web, and hires a professional killer as easily as you order food through a delivery app. Movies and YouTube videos have made you believe there's an Amazon of crime where you can browse through a catalog, filter by price, and choose a hitman based on their 5-star reviews. You enter websites with scary names, see images of tough guys holding weapons, and think you've found the easy way to get revenge. But the harsh reality is different. 99.9% of supposed hitman services on the dark web are scams designed to steal your bitcoins. You send the money, wait for the service, and the supposed killer simply stops responding. Or, in the worst case, the site administrator isn't a Russian mafia boss, but a bored federal agent sitting in an air-conditioned office in Washington. These sites are what security experts call honey pots, digital traps set by police to catch people foolish enough to try solving their marital or work problems with a sniper. Think about it. Real assassins who value their freedom don't have customer service departments, live chat, or money-back guarantees if you're not satisfied. In the end, it's the only thing that will arrive at your door after clicking buy isn't a stealthy hitman, but a special tactics team with an arrest warrant in your name. So remember this well before searching for illegal things on Google. Internet hitmen are like that model girlfriend you met in a chat room. They simply don't exist. Number 6. The rookie. Let's take the real case of Aris Sanchez as an example. This 15-year-old from North London accepted a contract to kill a woman named Gulistan Sabasi. His payment was £200 sterling. Yes, you heard that right. He agreed to end a human life for the price of mid-range headphones. But the problem is that after pulling the trigger, instead of disappearing into the shadows or changing vehicles 3 times, this infamous killer simply called a taxi to go home. Imagine the scene. He just committed murder and sits in the back seat of a taxi, probably checking his phone the whole way. He left so much forensic evidence and digital traces that the police didn't have to investigate much. They practically just followed the trail to his own house. No planning, no cunning, just impulsive stupidity. He's the perfect example of an assassin at this level. Number 5. The dilettante. In movies, when a man is pushed to the limit, he unleashes a hidden talent and becomes a brilliant anti-hero. But reality is much more pathetic. We're talking about ordinary men drowning in gambling debts or mortgages, who decide that killing is a viable career option to pay their debts. A stupid decision. In reality, it's just the fastest way to get a life sentence. Please, don't expect high-tech weapons here. Since they have no real criminal connections, their weapons are whatever they find in their garage or kitchen drawer. We're talking rusty hammers, bread knives, or baseball bats. And because they're terrified, they almost always fail spectacularly. There are recorded cases where they attack the wrong person because they were too nervous to check the photo. Worse yet, the victim notices the attacker is trembling and ends up beating up the supposed assassin. Basically, most aspiring hitmen end their careers right here. Number 4. The operator. At this level, these guys see murder as administrative work. They view the act of killing with the same emotion that a plumber views a clogged pipe. You call the plumber to fix a leak, and criminals call the operator so someone stops consuming oxygen. They don't hate you, they simply have a work order to complete. Unlike the amateurs we saw before, these guys have real skills, know how to use weapons, and know how to escape. However, their biggest weakness is that they're not invisible. They usually have criminal records longer than your list of monthly bills. Local police already know their addresses, their cars, and even their nicknames. It's just a matter of time before their luck runs out. So forget the mystery. They're not untouchable ghosts. They're simply diligent working-class employees. In the underground economy, number 3, the cartel enforcer. You probably imagine drug cartel assassins using silencers and complex military tactics to avoid detection. But the reality in places like Medellin or Sinaloa is less elegant and much more terrifying. Let's take as an example John Jairo Velasquez. Known worldwide as Popeye, Pablo Escobar's chief hitman, men like him don't care about stealth. In fact, stealth is counterproductive. For a cartel hitman, public brutality is their trademark, their form of corporate marketing. Why secretly poison an enemy when you can blow up their car in the middle of the city in broad daylight? These killers don't operate in the shadows. They operate in broad daylight using machine guns and explosives without worrying about witnesses or police. Their logic is purely terror. Popeye admitted to personally killing 300 people and coordinating the deaths of 3,000 others. For them, human life has no intrinsic value. It's just a logistical obstacle to the drug trade. At this level, death becomes industrialized and loses all emotional meaning. Like a twisted version of that famous phrase, killing one person is a tragedy. But killing 300 is simply another line on the resume of a hitman seeking a promotion. Number 2, the Phantom. This is the level that leaves criminology at a dead end. Researchers at the University of Birmingham, after studying hundreds of cases, posed a disturbing hypothesis. Everything we know about assassins comes from those who were caught. By definition, if your name is in a police database or university study, you've failed at your job. But what about those who never fail? Experts theorize that this elite group exists precisely because we have absolutely no data about them. Have no criminal records, no gang tattoos, and don't operate in the local criminal world. Imagine a person who arrives from another continent with a tourist visa, stays in a legal hotel, makes you stop worrying about your health permanently, and then flies back to their country before anyone sees your body. It's not a crime of passion, there's no money trail, and there are no precedents. They're invisible to the justice system because their behavior is outside the patterns police look for. Their victims could be somewhere in the statistics of missing persons or accidental deaths. Ironically, their existence is proven by the disturbing fact that there's no proof. It's a deadly paradox. Number 1, the state agent. Forget the glamour of spy movies. The government decides to kill. Don't send a charming person in an elegant suit. They send people trained in the world's toughest assassination programs. Take as an example the elite squad known as Unit 29,155 of Russian military intelligence. These operatives aren't lone wolves seeking revenge. They're public officials armed with a superpower's arsenal. Unlike hitmen who use lead, these agents use elements from the periodic table, or perhaps a substance that has never appeared publicly. Who knows? Polonium-210 Novichok or VX nerve agent. Remember the attack on Sergei Skripal? They didn't hesitate to spray military-grade poison on a door handle in a quiet English town, risking the lives of thousands of innocent civilians just to eliminate one man? They don't care about collateral damage because they have the ultimate protection, diplomatic immunity. For them, international law is just the equivalent of asking if you're 18 when entering adult websites, basically a worthless formal notice. If this level decides to come after you, there's no possible hiding place. They have satellites, global intelligence networks, and the ability to turn a simple handshake or perfume into a radioactive death sentence.